Hello everyone. In previous video, we saw how British East India Company conquest Sindh region, also made relationship with the Nepal kingdom and the Bhutanese kingdom. And now, further we will see how they established relationship between the regions like Burma, Tibetan and Afghan. The Anglo-Burmese relationship was quite a complex one. And in this video, we will see how the English East India Company was finally able to annex the whole Burma region after three Burma wars. The first Burma War was fought between the English East India Company and the Burmese Kingdom in the year 1824 to the year 1826. There were several reasons why this war happened. The Burmese expansions westward and the occupation of Arakan and Manipur, and this also led to a threat to Assam and the Brahmaputra Valley, which was in continuous friction along with the ill-defined boundary between the Bengal and the Burma region. Meanwhile, the British forces occupied the Rangoon in May 1824 and also they reached within 72 kilometers in the capital at Ava. The First Anglo-Burmese War was concluded with Treaty of Yandabu. Peace was established between the two parties in the year 1826 and also government of Burma was imposed with heavy war indemnity of rupees 1 crore. Also, the coastal provinces of Arakan and Tenasserim were ceded. Further, according to this treaty, Burmese had to abandon their claims on Assam, Chachar and Jaintia region. They also recognized Manipur as an independent state and they also negotiated a commercial treaty with Britain, accepting of British resident at Ava, while posting a Burmese envoy at Calcutta was done according to the Treaty of Yandabu. The Second Anglo-Burma War was fought in the year 1852 and we will see what was the reason behind it. The Second War was the result of the British commercial need and the imperialist policy of Lord Dalhousie. The British were very keen to get their hold on timber resources of Upper Burma and also sought further inroads into the Burmese market. These practices of British were heavily retaliated by Burma using guerrilla practices. During the Second Burma War, the British occupied Pegu, the only remaining coastal province of Burma. According to this, there was a complete British control over the lower Burma region and also British occupied the lower Burma. The third and the final Burma War was fought in the year 1885. After the death of the Burmese king Bhindan, his son Thibaw succeeded to the throne. Thibaw was from the beginning itself was hostile towards the British kingdom. He never treated the British merchant at Rangoon and Lower Burma very nicely. And this was not liked by the British merchant. They also complained about this stepmotherly treatment by Thibaw. Thibaw also negotiated some commercial treaty with the rival powers such as France, Germany and Italy. The French also planned to lay a railway link from Mandalaya to the French territory. Also, a humiliating fine was imposed by Thibaw on a British timber company. This was not well received by Dufferin and he also ordered invasion and final annexation of the Upper Burma in 1885. And at the end of the Third Burma War, the Upper Burma region was also finally annexed, and this is how the whole Burma region, after three wars, was annexed and seceded into the British Empire. Further in this video, we will see the Anglo-Tibetan relationship. Tibet at that particular period of time was ruled by Buddhist monks. And also China had a very heavy influence in the Tibet region. British made an effort to establish friendly and commercial relationship with the Tibet. Chinese influence on Tibet was ineffective and also Russian influence on Lhasa was increasing. There were reports of Russian arms and ammunition coming into Tibet. Curzon was felt alarmed by the Russian influence in the area and also sent a small Gorkha contingent under Colonel Younghusband to oblige Tibetan to come to an agreement. Younghusband pushed his way to Lhasa in 1904 while Dalai Lama at that particular period of time fled the area. Treaty of Lhasa in 1904 was signed and Younghusband dictated the official terms to the Tibetan. This treaty is very important because according to this treaty, British somehow now controlled the Tibetan region. According to this treaty, Tibet would pay a indemnity of rupees 75 lakh at the rate of 1 lakh per annum, and for security, the Indian government would occupy the Chumbi Valley, territory between Bhutan and Sikkim, for 75 years. Tibet would respect the frontiers of Sikkim and trade markets would be opened at Yatung, Yansei and Gartok. Tibet would not grant any concession for railways, roads, telegraph, etc. to any foreign state, but give Great Britain some control over their foreign affairs. This is how Great Britain eliminated the foreign competition and also had a piece of internal affairs of Tibet. This policy of Curzon counteracted all the Russian schemes in Tibet. We will now see about Anglo-Afghan relationship and some background which led to 3 Anglo-Afghan wars. During the First Anglo-Afghan War in the year 1839 to 1842, in the early 19th century, Russian influence was increased in Persia. As we all know that Russians followed socialism and Britain was capitalistic in nature. So the socialist influence in any territory where Britain is developing interest in was strongly opposed by the Britain. Previously in Anglo-Tibetan relationship also we saw that how Curzon made some policies to reduce or even nullify the influence of Russia in Tibet. Coming back to the Persian region, to nullify the Russian influence here also, British searched for a scientific frontier from the Indian side. Auckland came to India as its Governor General in 1836 and he only suggested that the Indian government itself should take some initiative to protect the boundaries of British India from the probable attack of Russians. For this he suggested a forward policy. The outcome of his forward policy was a tripartite treaty in 1838 allowing the British to establish a strong hold in Afghanistan. When Dost Muhammad came to power in Afghanistan, he withdrew from the tripartite treaty and turned towards Russia and Persia. This drastic change in the political situation in the Afghan region led to the war. The result of the First Anglo-Afghan War was Dost Muhammad surrendered to the Britain army and Shah Shuja was made the Amir. The Second Anglo-Afghan War started in 1870 and it ended in 1880. At that time, the Emperor Sher Ali wanted a friendship with Russia, so he was granted to keep an envoy in the court. But at the same time, he refused to keep a British envoy. As a result to this, Lord Leighton, the then Governor General, invaded Afghan and Sher Ali abandoned his throne and the Treaty of Gandamak in 1879 was signed with Yaqub Khan. Third Anglo-Afghan War was fought in the year 1919 and as we all remember, it was the First World War era. Amanullah was the Amir at that time and he declared to open a war against the British, which led to the Third Anglo-Afghan War. Peace came out in 1921 when the Afghan recovered the independence in foreign affairs. Thank you all of you for watching this video.